Hey, my Lipton. So, listen, this is going to be a rant. This is going to be a rant. This is going to be something that is going to be so disorganized. This video is going to be all over the place. I'm just giving you guys a heads up right now over this because I've been upset. I've been just like I have the spirit of the lion of yesterday, okay? Because the United States does what it does best, which is commit murder, commit massacres, commit genocides. They did what they did best yesterday. They did what they did best, what they know what to do, what this country was founded on, which was violence. This country was built on violence, and until that truly gets addressed and rectified, we're going to continuously have money sent to the Pentagon, have the military industrial complex just full of our taxpayer dollars, starting wars across the globe. It's going to keep happening. These things are going to keep happening. We have a culture, it's at this point it's within the United States' DNA, where we are a violent country and then we unleash violence across the globe. That's just what it is. And of course, we also have our puppy, our dog, our cur, isn't real in the mix as well. A country that we helped to create, a country that we helped to build, a country that we are financing, a country that at this point isn't real is the whore of the United States. At this point, I don't know which one is it. I think it's, no, yeah, Israel is the whore of the United States. And I'm not going to curse too much because I'm fasting and stuff like that. I don't want to curse too much, but it might slip out when I get, yeah, I already know when I start to get like super duper, like energized and excited, the curse word starts to flow. So I'm trying to be, I'm trying to like not educate because I mean, there's some other news sources which I definitely recommend. Drop Site News, Breaking Points, Secular Talk. I suggest you guys go watch those channels to get more in depth. Al Jazeera, Mehdi Hassan's channel, The Tale. I suggest you guys go watch their independent media. And that's what I think it is too. I think that we should start watching independent media, especially with now the Zionists owning a good amount of our media, our mainstream media in the United States. I highly suggest my subscribers and people that are going to be new to my channel to start watching independent media. Start watching Thinking Muslim. Start watching, like I said before, Thinking Muslim, Breaking Points, Secular Talk, Zateo, Al Jazeera, like Democracy Now. Like, start watching those channels because y'all need to be amplifying those. I don't want to hear no more about CNN and CBS, and because we already know those are propaganda mainstream media networks. Okay, they're gonna do what's best for the establishment. Period. So this, and as you guys, and you know, typical of Trump, typical of this orangutan, typical of this warmonger, like the rest of them, like his predecessors before him. They start something, and then they want to kind of like put the genie back in the bottle. No, ma'am, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. You were warned. You were warned that this was what was going to happen, but you allowed Satan Yahoo, you allowed that devil, and you're a devil as well. Let's be very clear. Donald Trump is a devil. Satan Yahoo is a devil. The United States government are just a bunch of demons in there. Okay? There's a bunch of demons. The Epstein class is what we call them. Okay? So you thought that you can kill you so the United States and Israel were the first ones to start this. Okay, they started this. Let's be very clear. I don't care. I don't want you guys to be propagandized. I don't want you guys to be tricked, to be brainwashed by the mainstream media, by CNN, MSNBC, CBS, Fox News, because those channels are going to try to justify this, trying to justify why we should be going to war with Iran. Let's be very clear. The United States and Israel started this war against Iran. They targeted this specific, and I'm forgetting the city. or yeah, I'm forgetting the town or the city within Iran that they attacked, but they sent, mind you, they were negotiating, and that's the part that this is the part that kills me. They constantly tell the Iranians to come to the negotiation table because they did that last year. They tell them to come to the negotiation table, and when they do come to the negotiation table, all of a sudden they get attacked. This happened last year too when they bombed Iran. So they were at the negotiation table with that stick with that palm tree Jared Kushner on negotiating how about like the whole nuclear weapon. Even though personally for me, let me tell you guys something. Iran, this is the only criticism I will have for Iran on this video. Iran are fools for never getting the nuke. They are the biggest fools I've ever seen in my life for not getting a nuclear weapon. I don't understand how you guys allowed the West, the European countries, the Americas, to play in your face. Time again, decades, they've been playing in your face. They keep telling you, if you guys don't get a nuclear weapon, we won't ever try you. And they continuously poke the bear. And then you guys don't rush to get a nuclear weapon. That's why they play. That's why the United States and Israel feel like they can step up like this, because Iran has constantly tried to play nice, to negotiate with the United States. Israel does not want to negotiate. Israel just wants war. Okay, they want to destabilize Iran so that they can have their greater isn't real project. Okay, they want to take different lands within the region. They want to take Jordan. They want to take Lebanon. They want to take Yemen. They want to take half of Saudi Arabia, which I don't care about. Honest at this point, because I'm going to drag it with Saudi Arabia too. At this point, I don't care if Israel takes half of Saudi Arabia. At this point, I don't care. They want to take their neighbors' countries and their neighbors' lands for the greater isn't real project. So it's not like the West and isn't real hasn't shown the Iranians who they are. But for some I don't understand why, but the Iranians always trying to negotiate, always trying to be diplomatic, and I get it, don't get me wrong. I'm all for diplomacy, but let me tell you guys something. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And they have done that even prior to me even becoming an adult. I feel like the Iranians were ridiculous and were foolish for not getting that nuclear weapon. I don't know if y'all noticed, the United States never tries North Korea. They never step up to them because they got the nuclear weapon. If you notice, they never step up to Pakistan because they have a nuclear weapon. Iran were fools for not getting that weapon. Now, that's my only criticism that I have for the Iranians today. Now, let's go to the United States and Israel. So they attacked Iran. Now the death toll is at 100 schoolgirls. Mind you, this is the United States is the same country who keeps going. I feel like throughout my lifetime, been crying, whining, moaning about how, oh my God, Iranian women are oppressed. Oh my God, like they have to wear hijabs and burqas and they need to be liberated. So liberating means bombing them? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? So y'all want to liberate the women by bombing them. Y'all want to liberate the girls by bombing them. And let me tell you guys something. You guys also shouldn't fall for the propaganda of the whole like, oh, Iranian women are oppressed. Okay? They like to sensationalize stories to benefit their agenda. Okay? Because if you go online right now, if you look at the Iranian people, majority of them are women, and they're over there mourning the death of the Ayatollah that was murdered and killed by the United States and Israel. Okay, so just because maybe here in the West, yes, maybe the more Western feminist, liberal women here in America are happy about the Ayatollah being. But the women over there, the women that are actually on the ground, from what I saw, they're mourning the death of the Ayatollah. Okay? So what I understand is, okay, they want the quote-unquote liberation of the Iranian women by bombing them. Okay, all right. So whatever, that's if that's how you guys feel. So of course, Iran got their licks back. They were like, no, like you're not gonna come and attack our country when we were just at the negotiation table, negotiating with each other, and then you guys gonna come and then try to bomb us. No. So Iran started attacking, sending missiles and bombs over to their neighboring countries where U.S. military bases are stationed. And as they should. As they should. The United States has their military bases surrounding Iran. So as they should. They went over there and they went the military base in Saudi Arabia, the military base in the United Emirates, the military base in Kuwait, the military base in Qatar. They attacked all the, and as they absolutely should. Injected into my veins. Yes. Injected. That's what I love to see. Because we're not asking the necessary questions. Why are the United States bases in the surrounding areas of the Middle East? How many years have we been discussing about, oh my God, let's bring our troops home. Let's bring our troops home. Mind you, a good amount of the United States soldiers and our bases are still in Iraq, even though that was a disaster, are still in these countries that we destabilized. And like they're in chaos at this point. So yeah, Iran got their licks back. And they're also getting their licks back over there in Israel. And let me see you guys something. A lot, and shout out to the Iranian cons, even though I personally don't feel like those are cons are from Iran. Those are some like, because I saw like where some of them were located, some of them said Europe or the United States. But y'all making me laugh. But y'all need to stop playing and stop goading me. Because I saw one tweet saying that, oh, are you ready for Tel Aviv to be flattened? And I'm like, listen, do not goat me with a good time. Okay? Do not goat me with a good time. If y'all want to be serious, y'all need to do it. Like, yeah, if y'all gonna be serious, y'all need to do it. And let me tell you guys something. I do not care. Israel has spent, I mean, I know we like to say since the October, like since the genocide of Gaza, of the Gazan people, which by the way is still going on, even though there's supposed to be a quote unquote ceasefire. But the Palestinians have been oppressed, discriminated against, tortured, massacred since the late 1940s by the quote unquote Zionists, by the Zionists and by the Israel people. So if y'all want me to care about some, and mind you, the Israel people they were having whole protests about right to rape on Palestinian prisoners. Most of the Israel people support the genocide. They actually want Gaza to be flattened, period. They want Benjamin Netanyahu to take over the West Bank, take over Gaza, add it to the greater Israel project. So if you expect me to care that Iran wants to flatten, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. But if there's a few casualties, hey, ain't that what they say about the Palestinians? Collateral damage? Ain't that what they call the Palestinians? Don't they call the Palestinians animals and roaches and they deserve to be bombed and they call them just all kinds of inhumane, depraved things about the Palestinians? And y'all expect me to care about the Israel people getting their ish rocked? I said, Iran, do what you got to do. Inject that into my veins. Do what you got to do. If Israel needs to be attacked, and there are some quote unquote collateral damage, as y'all like to call the Palestinians, and roaches and animals, and they don't deserve life. Yeah, what goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. Get your licks back. That's all I have to say about that. Get your licks back, and that's what Iran is doing. I don't know how, even though Israel claims that they have a whole Iron Dome, mind you, our taxpayers went to that Iron Dome, but yet missiles and bombs are still able to intercept into the Iron Dome. What kind of Iron Dome is this? Whatever. But yeah, so Israel is also getting bombed. The U.S. military bases around Iran is getting bombed, and you know, and this meme really kind of signifies that orangutan Donald Trump. It's either we can bomb the children, or we can be like we can act out our Epstein fantasies and harm children, taking away their innocence, torturing them, killing them for our own sexual carnal desires. Okay. Now, I also want to discuss um, the Muslim leader, the quote. I don't even want to call them Muslims. I already said this on the last video that I did on MBS and the UAE about how they're in the Epstein files and they took a cloth of the Kaaba and gave it to Epstein. Yeah, I already know how. I don't believe MBS is a Muslim. I don't believe what is his name, Muhammad bin Sulaiman, whatever. The fact that they even called these names, the Muhammad, they don't deserve. Like, they brought shame to the name of Muhammad. They brought shame to the name of Sulaiman. They should. I actually feel like they should. I feel like they should change their names. Maybe give themselves a Western name or something like that. They need to change their names because they're bringing shame to those pious. Because I feel like those names belongs to pious people, belongs to respectable people, belong to dignified people, belong to prideful people. So this clown, along with that other one in the UAE, they don't deserve their Muhammad names, their Suleiman names, the Abdullah, whatever you want to call it, because they're traitors. They're traitors. Because they're saying that this clown was on the phone with the United States, goading them to also bomb Iran. Okay. And like I said, I don't want to call them Muslims. They're not Muslims. They're not Muslims. Period. These two are not Muslims. They're clowns for Zionism. They're tap dancers for Zionism. They're rats for Zionism. And I said this in my other video. They need to take off all these modest clothing that they got on their heads and on their bodies and go wear a suit. Go wear a suit. Go. As a matter of fact, put on some ripped jeans, sag your pants, wear a t-shirt. Y'all need to stop cosplaying being Muslims at this point. The jig is up. Hang it up flat screen. The jig is up. These two clowns, these two tap dancers, these two sellouts have sold out the Muslim community, the Ummah, their people. And I said this before, I'm not even Arab. And I feel like I speak out. I feel like there's more people that speak out for the Palestinians, for the Arab community who are not Arab, compared to these two. Iran, for all their problems, have done more for the Palestinian people than Saudi and the UAE and Qatar and Turkey. You know, Turkey likes to grandstand. They always like to make it seem as if they're really doing something when they really ain't doing nothing. They're also another Zionist clowns too, but that's a whole different conversation. So they sold out the Ummah for that to be Zionist B words. As y'all already know, I said I'm fasting. I can't be out here cursing. And now they're tight that Iran bombs. Y'all gonna have to get some of these bombs. Why are U.S. military bases in y'all countries anyway? And then two, if y'all expect me to care about parts of Saudi Arabia being bombed, about parts of the UAE being bombed, as if the UAE is not currently committing a genocide in Sudan, like, can y'all come on? Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this is the hypocrisy that they talk about in the Quran. Saudi Arabia committed a whole genocide in Yemen, left them destabilized. The UAE currently is killing Sudanese people. They're committing a genocide in Sudan. That's how they were able to build all this gold that they got over there in Sudan, in the UAE, is because it came from Sudan. They stole it from Sudan. These are colonizers. Colonizers, bloodthirsty, racist Arabs. That's what they are. MBS and Muhammad, whatever his name is, Suleiman bin whatever you want to call him. These are racist Arabs. And they only care about themselves. They only care about themselves. So I don't care. And I saw that some of these rich billionaire people over there in the UAE, I don't know if MBS was also there too, I don't know. They're cowards. Benjamin Netanyahu fled, isn't real, to Europe, some part of Europe or something like that. A coward. MBS allegedly fled, coward. This fool right here fled, coward. The only one that stood his ground and stood like a man in his own home saying that he's going to die. If he's going to die, he's going to die with his people was the Ayatollah of Iran. He's the only one the only man, I guess the only one with actual balls in the room. But you got these clowns, you got these cowards. And this is who we're supposed to respect, and this is who we're supposed to look up to. I said this before. This is the Epstein class. The leaders of Saudi Arabia, the leaders of the UAE, the United States leaders, the UAE leaders, isn't real. The Epstein class. That's what they are. They're all in the Epstein files. They're all mingling around with Epstein. They're all tortured and harmed little girls, pedos. And in a way, it does hurt me more because like these are the people that are supposed to be considered the quote-unquote Muslims, but yet they sold out their own ummah. And shout out to this person. She said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this man the head of Saudi Arabia, the sacred land, gave him so much power to treat people justly, lead them. But what did he do? He chose to be an Israeli B-word against Muslims. And that is the truth. That is the truth. This man has not stood up for the Palestinians. This is the fact. This man has said, I don't even want to call him a man, he's a clown. He has said that he doesn't care about the Palestinian lives. He doesn't care about their plight. He doesn't care about their resistance. He doesn't care about their liberation. But he knows that his people care about them. So that's why he has to kind of put up a front and make it seem as if he does care when he really doesn't. And so let me tell you guys something. When the whole greater isn't real project happens, because according to the greater isn't real project, they have to take half of Saudi Arabia. They have to. I am not going to come, if I live to see the day, I am not going to come on this channel saying, oh my God, isn't real, took half of Saudi. No, I'm going to be like, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. MBS, you chose to be a dog for Israel. You chose to be the prostitute of the West. And for isn't real. And now when the chickens came home to roost and they take half of your country for their fake project, I don't want to hear no whining. I don't want to hear no crying. I don't want to hear no moaning from you when that day comes. And it's going to come. It's going to come. And I will be over here with my popcorn. When the day comes, God willing, if I live to the day, I'll be here with my popcorn, chewing it up on the channel. We're going to be laughing, kikiing, and cackling when that day comes. Instead of standing up for your Palestinian brothers and sisters, instead of staying united with the Yemeni people, you decided to bomb them, throw the Palestinians under the bus, now goading the United States to bomb your neighbors, Iran. And also I want to say another thing too. Someone brought this up to me. And let me be very clear. I'm a Sunni Muslim. I'm a Sunni. So I'm speaking as a Sunni. Someone said this. They're like, have y'all noticed that the Shia Muslims or the Shia leaders, who majority of them are in Iran and Yemen, they're the ones that are more dignified and prideful and actually standing on business and standing with the Palestinians and actually standing for the Ummah more and better than the quote unquote Sunni Muslims, which is the MBSs, the UAEs, and Turkey, like Iran and Yemen, which is I believe Yemen is also a majority Shia Muslim country. They're standing up, yo. They're standing up. They stood up for the Ummah more than these quote unquote Sunni Muslims are. And yet the Sunni Muslims want to be out here stunting, talking about some, oh, where the where, and I'm speaking as a Sunni Muslim. Okay, I'm gonna be Sunni Muslim today, tomorrow, until I die, because that's my ideology. That's what I believe in. But at the end of the day, I have to give the Shia Muslims their props where props are due. I gotta give them their tens. They stood on business when it comes to these Zionists. It was these Sunni leaders, these Sunni Muslim leaders are the ones that sold us out. So there needs to be, I don't know when exactly this needs to be a conversation, but it needs to be a conversation. And I know people are going to be like, oh, they're just doing this just to divide. We need to focus on the main prize. Yes, we need to focus on the main prize, but we also got to get the snakes out the grass too. We got some snakes in the garden. And MBS is one of them. Along with his ilk at that. Either way, and I said this before, I'm never stepping foot into the UAE. I don't care about this whole Dubai, whatever. All this propaganda about Dubai. I'm over it. I'm never stepping foot in Dubai. I said this before. I was talking to my mom about this. I said, I swear to God, if Mecca and Medina were not in Saudi Arabia, I would never, ever step foot in Saudi Arabia. Ever. But because of my deen and because I have to do pilgrimage, it is obligated for me to do that. But I'm not going there on some like tourist purposes and trying to look. No, ma'am. I'm going there for my God and my God only. Period. Let's get back to the U.S. I don't want us to be. While I get it right now, we're under the Trump regime. I also don't want us to. Because I'm starting to notice some things about, oh my God, yeah, this is why you guys should have voted for Kamala. This is why you guys should have voted for Democrat. As you guys can see here, the duopoly, which is the Democratic Party and Republican Party, have all have blood on their hands. And this is what I've been trying to explain to people on this channel, especially on TikTok, because that's the most where I get. And I know I keep saying blue MAGA, but I'm going to talk to them like, I'm not going to do the insults right now. This is what this is what people like me, the leftists, the independent thinkers, this is what we've been trying to tell y'all. It doesn't matter if it's just because the Republicans are more overt with their cruelty and inhumanity. The Democrats do the same exact thing, but they know how to hide their crimes. But if anything, I don't even feel like they were hiding their crimes. They were just doing it with a smile and coming to us with cheesing in our faces, making it seem as if everything was all right when they're also carrying out the same thing. This is a uniparty, is what we're trying to say. And look, Bush, Obama, Biden, Trump, they all bombed Afghanistan. Trump, Iran. Iraq, you already know. And people think that Obama stopped the war. No, he also bombed Iraq. Joe Biden bombed Iraq. Libya. And y'all already know, I already said it on this channel multiple times and on my Instagram. I'm never going to forgive Barack Obama for what he did to Libya. I would never, like, y'all need to go back and learn about, and I remember I was really young at that time too, but I knew at that time it was wrong. But now hearing all the details, Barack Obama, y'all need to stop worshiping that man. Stop looking up to Barack Obama as if he's a role model. He's just another war criminal like Bush, like Trump, like Joe Biden, like Bill Clinton, the rest of them. He's just because he's half black, just because he's biracial, don't mean nothing. He committed the same crimes. There's a certain point where we need to start holding our own accountable, because we can't call other people trash and not calling out the trash in our own backyard. So Obama bombed Libya. So did Trump. Trump bombed Nigeria. This was recently. Nigeria. Pakistan. He bombed. Obama, Bush, and Trump. Somalia. All four bombed Somalia. Syria, same thing. Venezuela, like the fact that Trump is on this list. Yo, this orangutan, man. He bombed. At least he's honest about his cruelty and his inhumanity. He's like, I'm gonna bomb all these countries. Yemen, the same thing. So I don't want us to be fooled, saying, "Oh, Kamala would," but no, she would not. Kamala would not have been. She would have came with a smile in her face, cackling in our faces, while doing the bidding of the Uniparty. And at what point are like? I know y'all have issues. I know people. I don't know. I don't have an issue with third parties, but at what point are we going to organize and start writing in independent candidates that are actual anti-war? For all the beef that these liberals have for Jill Stein. Last time I checked, Jill Stein never stood for war. All this time. Last time I checked, Hillary Clinton stood for war. She voted for the Iraq war. She was here for it. She was in the operation room when Barack Obama destabilized Libya. So she wouldn't have never been different either. At what point are we going to prioritize these independent candidates and start giving attention to them and start watching independent media and start seeing the independent candidates that are actually running, because mainstream media is never going to give them that platform? We're going to keep going through the cycle until we actually say, you know what, I'm done with the Uniparty, I'm done with the Democrats, I'm done with the Republicans. We need to, and that's not just for the liberals. This is also for the conservatives and these libertarians too. They need to also organize too. If y'all have a conservative libertarian person that is anti-war and not for these wars and sending our taxpayer dollars across the globe, uplift those people. Stop voting for Republicans that are constantly voting in favor of war. Speaking of history, I also want you guys to and I also need to do my research. I also need to read up on this. I need you guys to look at the origins of Saudi Arabia and the royals, and how Saudi Arabia came to be about after the Ottoman Empire fell. Okay? I want you guys to do your research and see why Saudi has taken the Zionist position. Because even me, in the beginning, I did not understand it. I'm like, wait a minute. Aren't y'all supposed to be against this? Why are y'all standing for this? But there's a reason why. Y'all need to go look at the history of this. Go look it up. It's there. And you start to understand better as to why this has become a thing, unfortunately. But either way, I feel like this is going to end. I don't know how this is going to end, truly. Because I don't think this is going to be the same thing as it was last year when Trump bombed Iran. Right now, currently, the Iranians, it looks like they're not playing around. They're tired of being, even though, there's the only criticism I have for the Iranian government. They should have gotten that nuke. They should have gotten that nuke, and we wouldn't be in this position that where we are today. They should have never negotiated with the West. Negotiating with the West is a death wish. Period. The West cannot be trusted. A country that has committed the ethnic cleansing and genocide of Native Americans, slavery of African people, colonization of African people, Jim Crow, segregation. Those are people never to be trusted. If they can do that to their own people, what makes you think? What makes you think they're gonna be all googly moogly diplomacy with y'all? And they still haven't rectified the horrors that they've committed to the African American community and the Native American community. So if they can't even do that with their own people, what makes you think they're gonna be all diplomacy with y'all? It's not gonna work. This is a violent country, and the only thing we know is violence. School shootings here and there every day of the week. Shooting each other up. And y'all think that we're about to be over here, but the diplomacy? Get the nuke. I don't know if it's too late. Hopefully it's not too late. And I'm hearing that this new leader that they're trying to appoint in Iran, he's more tougher. He's not as a moderate as the Ayatollah. Wherever it is, y'all need to y'all need to get it together. Get it together and get that nuke. Get the nuke. Get it. Stop negotiating with the West. Stop negotiating with European countries. Stop negotiating with North America. Stop. Anyway, that is just that. I don't even want to say subscribe to my channel because I feel like we're in doom and gloom right now. Like I've been doom and gloom since like yesterday. Like I just, oh my God. Anyway, you guys tell me how you guys feel in the comment section below about this whole thing, this ongoing catastrophe that's happening right now. But it's been in the works. It's been in the making. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.